Ali will be speaking on technology and infrastructure for the next 10 years. Dr. Ali is the head of innovation and technology at the Public Investment Fund, local real estate investment. He holds a PhD degree in electrical engineering from the University of Texas. Dr. Ali worked as director at both Expenditure and Government Projects Efficiency Authority and King Abdullah International Research Center. His experience spans over 20 years in executive leadership positions at the Saudi Telecom, the Faisaliyah Group, and GE. He's a holder of many published and granted patents from the United States Patents and Trademark Office related to technological systems. Please welcome Dr. Ali.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. It's 5 o'clock, and I hope not everybody is fed up on time. I'm going to try my best to make this within time, 10 minutes or less than that, and just maybe start off with a quiz. Before you answer this quiz, I would like to thank the BMI-KSA for this generous invitation to be here today to deliver this hopefully interesting speech. Thank you, Engineer Badr Borsheed, for giving us this opportunity, and thanks to Mohammed Al-Harbi, who worked out very hard to get this done and make it happen. What does this look like to you? It's a nerve cell. Today we're going to talk about biology. I hope you don't mind. Do you? Well, this is called the Atlas of Economic Complexity. It's a Harvard project. It was developed by Harvard Lab, and it basically shows you how the sphere of different technologies are connected to each other. From automobile industry to oil and gas to electrical chips, integrated circuits. And if you look at very simple, unfortunately the resolution is not up to the expectation. For the microchip industry, for instance, if you zoom in, the innovation doesn't really reside in the microchip industry and the electrical engineering components, but it goes, for instance, to infrastructure. We're talking about excavation machinery. The innovation propagates. The technology goes somewhere else that you never thought. Now, it's not moving from one technology to another, from one economy space to another. Another line goes to the household machine. The laundry that works at home benefits from the innovation and the technological development of the microchip industry. This by itself goes to the fabrication, to the textile industry. It's a whole economy. It's not just one thing. You cannot focus on infrastructure and expect us to deliver one confined framework within the infrastructure. It goes way beyond that. Now, just to add more to my previous colleague who talked about the G20 infrastructure. Now, what this has to do with G20? Well, there is what they call the infrastructure working group. They meet 4 times a year. Then at the end of the meetings, they come up with recommendation about infrastructure and policy. In 2020, the Kingdom took the presidency for the G20, and the Kingdom's agenda on the infratech was very focused. It was promoting infrastructure technology and endorsement of that infrastructure technology. So in July 2020, the ministers and the financial the bank CEOs, they agreed to launch the infrastructure technology agenda. It was basically the promotion of using the technology and infrastructure to improve the investment decision, to enhance the value over money. For these global central banks lend money to these countries and to make sure that at least their investment is going to where it's supposed to go. The promotion of quality infrastructure investment for the delivery of a better social and economic impacts. Now, what are the technologies that the Kingdom has promoted in 2020? There are a few technologies that we promoted, connectivity and communication. We're talking about IT and communication, analytics and computations, cloud data storage, devices, automation, platforms, interfaces, and of course, materials and energy and construction. So hopefully, the next presidencies will continue building this. This was built under the Italian presidency. Now, the same agenda is being used under the Indonesian presidency. The frontier technologies is something that is really interesting to talk about, but let's talk money, let's talk about the shares in the market. In 2018, 350 billion was the share of the frontier technologies, where the IoT accounted for almost 130 billion out of this, followed by the bronze and solar PVs and big data. In 2025, according to the United Nations report, this is going to 3.2 trillion. These are solid numbers where the IoT, the Internet of Things, accounts for almost 1.5 out of this. So this gives you a kind of indication on where do you think the technology is going. Are we talking about IoT? Are we talking about solar? In fact, we're talking about all of these. And we expect much more market shares in 2025. Now, this is the typical classical diagram, the fourth industrial revolution. But note with me, the age of ICT, it started and it's still continuing. We're talking about information and communication technology. And the topic today is going to highlight to you why we think this is the base of the technological advancement. Again, not only with the infrastructure, but it goes way beyond that. For instance, this is again a part of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, and they mentioned a few frontier technologies. If you look at the number of patents between 1996 to 2018, the highest number of patents goes to the artificial intelligence. The second rank goes to the robotics. The third one goes to the Internet of Things. Now, talking about the market size, again, number one goes to the Internet of Things in terms of the market size, 130 billion, according to 2018 statistics. And then robotics takes the second rank, and then surprisingly, it goes back to the 5G, but then again, this is information communication technology, because these are carrier networks, basically, we're operating with 5G to carry all of this data and help you propagate in the IoT and the artificial intelligence. The last market share goes to the artificial intelligence. So again, we're talking computation, we're talking big data, we're talking IT-based technologies. Now, the infrastructure, the development project. Why do we see the connectivity, unfortunately, when it comes to development, is kind of flat? It's not in a quick pace with the manufacturing industry. It's a little bit lagging behind, but there are a few reasons for that. Again, it's a traditional method of stage gating. You go and tender for design, and then start your design, and tender for construction, then commissioning, then handing over. It takes time. You cannot just check out the boxes. It's a rigid industry. This is normal. This is the nature of the infrastructure project. And again, every site has its own unique set of challenges and risks. And of course, it's always difficult to streamline the processes. If you go across the hall today, two of the companies were coming up with new innovative solutions. One is called the White Helmet. It just streamlines the process. It helps deliver the footage to the owner of the project to see what's going on in the project. There are other innovations related to the digital tools. And again, they're all going around the same circle, which is facilitating the way we manage infrastructure projects. And hopefully we are getting there. Now, what do we think the trend for the next 10 years? A development project, construction project? I would call the first school IT/computational based. Software and mobile applications, artificial intelligence, the site sensors, as you can see, whether we are using site sensors for safety and to speed up the work environment of communication, the drones and robotics, augmented and virtual reality, and believe it or not, this is coming to the infrastructure industry. It's not only for the video game, but you can actually feel and see the site sitting in your place. The last one is the BIM, which has been here for quite some time. Now, the second category goes to the off-site construction, modular construction, fabricated construction, and there's a trend going on just to speed up the infrastructure development project. We're going for the fabrications and the precast and modular construction. The third group is related to the construction materials. We hear about green initiatives, sustainable building materials, green materials, but they're all at the end of the day materials, and they have to share the same most common goal, which is CO2 reduction and the climate change adaptation. Now, this is a wonderful slide that talks about the real estate value chain. Look at the construction. We were talking about the construction. It's in the middle of the value chain. But we should remember that this does not start here. It starts the individual looking for a property. You are using an application to search for a property, residential compound. It goes all the way to the viewing, would like to view that on your application, on your cell phone, and then the property land and purchase. And then this is the construction where we are talking about today. And this doesn't also stop there. It goes to the building retails, building residential, and property management. That's a whole value chain for the real estate industry. It happens that just construction is one part of this, but it's not the entire value chain. I'd like to just show how interesting the technology is overlaps here. Now, the content of construction technology is confined with the construction, building, and retail. It starts from here, it ends over there. But this thing here overlaps with another segment called the prop tech. We hear a lot about the property technology. What is a property technology? It's an application, but where does it fit within this entire value chain? It overlaps with the construction technologies. It covers that part of the segment, that part of the value chain. And of course, when you are searching for a property to lease or to buy, this falls within the prop tech, which is integrated with the construction technology. Now, the fintech, you're looking for financing. You'd like to finance a project. They were a government entity, or a private businessman, or maybe you're just an individual who would like to buy a house. So you're using the fintech to get finance, to get your loan, to get your mortgage from the banks. And again, fintech does not operate alone. It works with property technologies, and there should be integration there, which is happening now, which is by itself integrated with the construction technology. Now, the last but not least is the legal tech. The smart contracting, contracting to own a house, or have a contract with a legal entity to lease a house, and they have their own applications, they have their own innovations, and again, they are not playing in silo alone from everybody else, but again, they're integrated with fintech, which is integrated with all of the rest of the value chain. So I wanted just to say that it's a whole value chain. It's not only construction, look at the entire value chain, and innovation that happens in the basic building block here is going to revolutionize the whole entire industry. That's it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr.